Does the
You
real
keep calling him a character and a role, and I think all of us have been as well. Do you consider him more of a part or more of portraying a real person?
I was always aware that it was a real person. There's a lot of pressure when you're playing someone who's real and alive because they can see it and judge it. And although they're not going to let us play the movie for him in prison, which I'm bummed about. I wanted him to see it and see what he thought of it, but
Why won't they let you?
don't know. They told Rick, our director, that it was not going to happen.
Texas justice system
Yeah.
is kind of fucked up, huh?
Yeah.
So what is the most challenging aspect of playing a real person?
What's the hardest part of playing a real person? Just the pressure in the back of your mind, wanting to get it right, because when you're playing a real person, if you can't, like if it was just a made-up part, I wouldn't feel bad about just acting like an ass sometimes. Yeah, I don't want it to be a smear in any way. I want it to be accurate.
Did you actually talk to any of the townspeople yourself prior to, or you wanted to keep that kind of out of the way when you created the character?
I didn't talk to any of the towns. Well, there were townspeople in the movie,
Yeah.
so I was able to talk with them here and there, but I didn't actively seek out friends and family of Bernie to talk about that stuff.
I'm with a Jewish news site, and so I'm interested if you did any preparation to play such a devout Christian character.
Right. I studied the songs, obviously. I did not do any Bible study, but I felt like I was familiar enough with that to play someone who was really into Jesus.
So it just kind of came naturally.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry to say, there was not a lot of time spent in the church
So,
researching in that way.
so what was it about this part that it really attracted you? What was the one key element that made you go, I have to do this?
Well, it spoke to me. When I read the script, I was like, I could hear his voice, and I saw a way to play it in an interesting way, and I thought that the story itself is compelling because, you've got this guy who's the most loved guy in the town that is the least likely to commit a murder. That's just very compelling. And then, add to that, he puts the body in a freezer for 9 months. It's just like, there's so many question marks that make it interesting.
And he could have gotten away, they keep pointing out. He could have put her in the plane and just dumped her in the water, and nobody would have ever found the body, and he wouldn't be in prison today.
Yeah, well, the guy said if he really had thought about it, if he had premeditated the murder, he could have just put a pillow on her face, and everyone would have just assumed that she died in her sleep. No one would have thought murder, but
Do you think he wanted to get caught?
I think he was relieved when he got caught, for sure. But he's afraid of everybody hating him, and the huge shitstorm that was about to hit his life. So, I'm sure he's conflicted with that.
Do you think there was even just the tiniest bit of manipulation involved in his motivations? Because it just seemed like, she put his name on all the accounts.
Yeah.
There was just, even when he was selling the coffins,
Yeah.
there seemed to be a second level of thinking there. Do you think any of it was more devious than just him trying to be loved?
I don't think so, but
No?
I do think that money, the corrosive, corrupting power of money was involved.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, on the one hand, he wanted her to love him, so he didn't want to leave her and risk her being angry. But on the other, and in addition to that, he had become accustomed to the money, and he liked having money mostly to give to other people. I mean,
That's
he
true.
enjoyed going on trips with her, but
Mhm.
mostly he just liked giving it all away and seeing the effect that it had on other people.
Mm-hmm.
So it was seductive, yeah. It kept him there with her in the picture, but I don't think it was like devious, like he'd got plans to get all her money by killing her or anything like that.
How's the collaboration working with Richard Linklater? But did you put any input on this actually when you working with some of the element in the script? Because unlike the School of Love, this is pretty like straightforward,
Mhm.
very actually tender and nice guy, unlike a comedical character in School of Rock. So how did you work it out with John Linklater? Did you put any input on that? Or
Well,
just-
we had some collaboration in the rehearsal process, and if while we were making the movie, I would voice concerns about certain elements. Like I'd say, are we sure that we're building it up enough that it seems like he's killing her? Like that is she mean enough? Maybe we should add a scene where she's really being more oppressive. And he was like, no, it's fine. There's lots of times that I would voice my opinions. But he had written the script for years before I came on board. I wasn't involved in that part of it.
Do you think the real Bernie will have any interaction with the press as this gets publicity and released? Because, sort of my question is like, should Bernie come out of the closet, if he's gay? Does it matter?
That's always, that person's personal
For sure.
thing. I wouldn't say he should or shouldn't,
Yeah.
It's his business.
That would be very popular.
Those are his
in
private parts.
Yeah. He doesn't want to drop the soap. Maybe it's dangerous.
Yeah.
Knowing Bernie and then knowing everything that goes around it and the outcome, if you were one of the townspeople at the time, would you have said he's not guilty?
Oh, if I were one of the townspeople? No, he's guilty. He deserved to do time.
Yeah.
It's just a question of, does he deserve to do as much time as someone who, was cold and calculating, and someone who there's people who do less time that I think are
Yeah.
much
But-
worse offenders, and I don't think that he's a danger to society. He could come out and no one would have to worry about, the cold-blooded killer burning Tita.
Right, but the problem is the end result is still the same, whether he
That's right.
calculated or didn't calculate. So
That's right. That's right, but I still don't think that the crimes deserve the same kind of punishment.
Do you know how Bernie's practicing his faith in prison now?
He leads Bible study and leads the singing. What do you call that? The
Prayer
gospel.
group?
Yeah,
The
prayer
gospel
group.
choir.
The choir. Yeah.
how much time did you actually spend with the real Bernie?
Couple hours. We walked around the prison with him, and he showed us his workshop.
They let you walk around with him, not just
Yeah,
stay in
yeah.
one room.
They gave us a lot of leeway because of the Hollywood Jack aspect. We got to go to his cell and meet some of his friends, and then we got a room where we could just talk for about 45 minutes.
Was that once filming had wrapped, or was that prior?
That was prior.
So did you use a lot
Well,
of that?
filming had started, but it had just started. We swooped over there on a
So
weekend.
you could sort of pull from that, not just the videotape.
That's right.
When you look at the movies you do now that you're a dad, does that factor into I could say Gulliver's Travels is ideal if you've got a 3 or 5
yeah.
or 6-year-old at home, and
Yeah.
School of Rock would be for any age kind of kid. But
Yeah.
when you do something like this, do you think how old are they going to be when they see it? What will they think
No.
of me? No.
Not really. I know a lot of people do, but I actually would have done these movies whether or not I had kids. I wanted to do Gulliver's Travels just for fun for me. And this one, obviously, I did not do for my kids.
They got the
But
Muppets.
they're not going to see it. Yeah, they can see the Muppets, but not necessarily. I don't really want them to see me in anything. Kids movies or adult movies. It's just too much of a weird head trip to see your dad all big up on a screen.
Can you talk a
Then
little bit
the
about?
next thing you know, they're going to want acting classes.
Do you think
Some
some
of the
musical at all? Do you,
What's that?
Yeah.
Do you think they follow you at all with some musical ability?
They do like to sing and dance. They're really into Michael Jackson now.
Oh,
Have they
Smooth
heard
Criminal.
Fuck Her
Song
Gently?
every rotation. Of course not.
when do you
What, are you
think they're gonna
crazy?
hear it? Do you think they're gonna just find it on YouTube and?
That'll happen probably in their teens sometime. They'll stumble upon it when they have full command of the YouTube.
And what's your next project?
My next project, I have, my Tenacious D album is released next month, and we go on a world tour.
Which
So you're
means
gonna-
4 cities or more? When we say world.
No, we're gonna do all of the United States, and then Europe.
Okay.
We're not going
You
Australia.
can
or-
hide that from your
Or
kids.
Asia.
Yeah.
Or Moscow.
Yeah.
I think you're here in June, right?
What's
I
that?
think you're here in June with that, I think, right?
Are we here in New York in June? I think
think
that
it's
sounds
June.
right. Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds right.
And then can you talk a little bit about what happened with the proposed School of Rock sequel?
Yeah, I'd love to do a School of Rock sequel. We're just trying to figure it out. You know, we never came together and saw eye to eye on what that story would be. But never say never. At this point, if we did a School of Rock sequel, I think it would have to be about how rock is dead, and then it's Dewey's job to bring rock back to life somehow.
Mm.
Alright, thanks guys.
All right.
So you have no more movies coming out after this?
No. Well, I've got a couple in development. I'm really hoping to get started on the Charlie Kaufman movie right after the Tenacious D tour.
Oh,
Can we get a quick picture?